Does anyone else find it weird that Twilight Sparkle was just gifted alicorn status by Celestia for seemingly no reason? I mean, sure, she had the excuse of,
she created new magic.
But isn't that sort of bullshit? Because Star Swirl the Bearded made like hundreds of spells.
There must be a million scrolls here!
Including the one Twilight got credit for.
Star Swirl the Bearded's secret, unfinished masterpiece.
And did Celestia ever bestow alicorn status upon him? No. Now the reasoning for this is probably straightforward. Celestia just wants to fill the seats of power around Equestria with yes-men who either worship or are afraid of her. And Twi is pretty firmly in both camps.
You can't hang a banner that says, "Welcome, Princess Celeste."
And not exactly for a bad reason. I mean, just look at the reasoning she gave for banishing Sunset Shimmer.
She eventually decided to abandon her studies and pursue her own path.
Her own path? As opposed to the one you laid out for her.
It seems you inspire all sorts of free thinking, don't you?
Yeah, She questioned you, and you sent her to the worst place imaginable. The human world. But Twilight is more loyal than that. She, blindly accepts every artificial handicap Celestia puts on her.
But with the help of my friends,
I'm sorry, Princess Twilight, but you must keep your new abilities a secret.
I mean, look at this intense fear of disappointing Celestia, whether it be fear of banishment and or imprisonment from trying to save the life of her pet bird, which is probably just some former political opponent who she's cursed to wither and die for an eternity. The events of Lesson 0 threw her into a panic because her clique went a whole 7 days without any drama.
bad! Bad! Of course it's bad!
When did Twilight Sparkle become FNGR? But Celestia didn't even attempt to dispel that notion that friendship is, mostly composed of everyone not being an asshole to each other.
I'll forget Twilight's punishment on one condition.
Instead, she opts to ingrain the message that friendship is inherently full of strife. And there's the issue of Celestia throwing needlessly impossible tasks at her, like trying to save the Crystal Empire without using the magic of friendship for some reason.
It must be you and you alone.
Like, yeah, I could totally convert him to a good guy by using the elements of harmony, but I want to see how this plays out if you don't. I mean, she knew Cadence would be there, and was probably hoping to get rid of some of her alicorn competition. And potentially might have if Twilight hadn't been so desperate to please Celestia that she used dark magic to fuck up this door. Speaking of getting rid of her alicorn competition, can we look back at Canterlot Wedding for a sec? I mean, hear me out. What if the idea to pit Twilight against fake Cadence was Celestia's idea? I mean, Celestia is overseeing the wedding preparations.
I will be presiding over the ceremony.
And gives Twi's friends their dream jobs just so they would be too distracted to pay attention to her grievances?
You're all just too caught up in your wedding planning to notice that maybe there shouldn't even be a wedding.
There's always been the question of how Chrysalis got into Canterlot and took Cadence's place initially.
A threat has been made against Canterlot.
And it would make perfect sense if she was in cahoots with Celestia, because it sure takes a fucking while for her to intervene during this speech.
First we take Canterlot, and then all of Equestria! No.
Celestia steps up after Chrysalis points out that she's gonna take over all of Equestria? Chrysalis looks surprised. But why? I mean, she knew Celestia was standing right there. This is the face of someone who was double-crossed. Celestia was using Chrysalis just to get Cadence out of the picture. I mean, Cadence becomes an alicorn, and then all of a sudden Celestia starts training 2 new pupils just to put the balance of power back on her side because she knows Luna won't stay in the moon forever. You're not slick, Celestia. And Cadence knows what's going on. More often than not, she's the one who's running defense for Twilight.
And I know just the princess who could stop him.
I mean, look at what happened in Princess Spike. Celestia sets it up so that when Twilight has to speak in front of the delegates, she'll be sleep-deprived, losing their favor and giving Celestia more power in both her eyes and the eyes of the delegates. Celestia thinks she can get away with shit like that because Twilight's been a made pony ever since the season 4 premiere when she gave up the elements of harmony to save her.
We know how difficult it must have been for you to give up the elements. It took great courage to relinquish them.
I mean, remember how urgent getting them back was when they fell into the hands, hooves? No, hands is right. The hands of someone who wasn't blindly loyal to Celestia?
Without it, the other elements of harmony have no power, and Equestria is left without one of its most important means of defense.
But give them up entirely so that no one will be able to use them against her? No problem at all. What really drills this home is Discord's reaction to learning that the elements of harmony are gone.
Oh,
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Why is he disappointed that the only check to his power doesn't exist anymore? He wanted them around so they could be used against Celestia if shit ever went down. Because if you really dig into it, Celestia has always been a negative influence on Twilight. She kept her out of meaningful relationships until the very instant she had to use those relationships to fuck up her sister's shit. She didn't educate Twilight on the nature of the elements of harmony because the last pony she educated turned on her.
What happens when you bring an element of harmony into an alternate world? You don't know?
Discord, on the other hand... Hoof? Wait. Paw? Whatever. Discord has done nothing but teach her that friendship is good with exponentially decreasing amounts of subtlety. In Return of Harmony, in his desperate attempt to remain free, he undermined the one thing that threatened him. Twilight's friendships, not the elements of harmony. In Keep Calm and Flutter On, he demonstrated that even without a check on his power, friendship could still be used to rein him in.
If I don't, I'll lose the one friend I ever had.
In Princess Twilight Sparkle, he directly told Twilight that her friends should be more important to her than any other ponies in Equestria.
I never thought you'd be the kind of pony who would think she was better than every pony else.
He even throws in a less than subtle jab at Celestia herself.
All you did was choose to keep your precious princess self out of harm's way while your friends thrust themselves right into it.
In Three as a Crowd, he proves that friendship is even a stronger bond than family.
To the ends of Equestria, to face such great danger, and she did it for me.
And in Twilight's Kingdom, he befriends her, and in that act single-handedly saves Equestria. And she still doesn't get it. Like halfway through season 5, during Amending Fences, she still thinks that friendship is something that can be academically performed to proficiency, to the point of enlisting Pinkie Pie's help to make sure she does friendship right. Which leads Discord into the piece de resistance of Twilight's developmental arc. What about Discord? Where he goes fucking ham trying to drill home the point that friendship is an intangible bond that can only be felt through common experience and not boiled down to a formula or taught.
We can't possibly recreate our weekend of fun exactly as it happened, because you'll always be watching.
He did it with such grace and elegance that it brought Twilight to tears, teaching her a more valuable lesson than any other episode in the show taught any other character. Not only making the best Discord episode, but the best possible Discord episode. And what was the fandom's reaction? They fucking hated it! Fuck Discord delivering the most important message in the show's history. Fuck that, because I didn't think the inside jokes were funny. They're inside jokes, you fucking rubes. They're not supposed to be funny. If they were funny, it would undermine the whole point of the episode.
Smooth move, Ferguson.
But an episode based on the premise that Discord forgot that Fluttershy has friends other than him is fine because of a stoned hippie.
Oh man, you're really bumming me out.
Fuck off with that. Where was I? Oh right, Twilight. Twilight still doesn't learn anything from that though. I mean, look at the very next episode. Twilight tries to solve a feud with a checklist. Or almost every episode of season 6 where she forces her friendship curriculum on Starlight.
After this, I move on to the bees.
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah!
Try as he might to undo Celestia's indoctrination of Twilight, it is too deeply rooted. Twilight doesn't understand friendship at all, and can you really blame her? I mean, she basically stumbled ass first into 5 friendships that must not be questioned lest the world ends. So it's a wonder Starlight got anywhere under her tutelage. I mean, after being thrown headlong into the exact same 5 friendships. Isn't it a little off that Twilight's proposed friendship lessons are about things she never fucking did? She says something about befriending a griffin or tagging along with the CMC.
Making friends with a griffin is a challenge all by itself. Or we could tag along with the CMC.
When did you do those things? Reuniting with an old friend, which she made Pinkie Pie do for her. And then in no second prances, she asks her to go out and make a fucking friend of her own volition?
You have to make a new friend.
And what's amazing is that she actually does it. And Twilight gives her shit.
I'm not so sure she's the best first friend.
I'm beginning to think this magic box landed in the wrong random spot. But not for nothing, Twilight does have a lot of respect and high standards for the pupil who surpassed her in every way except for amount of screen time. Because it's her demeanor showing cracks that causes Twilight to take Celestia's name in vain for the very first time.
Explain to me how in the name of Celestia things got this out of control.
That moment really broke her. It caused her to realize that Starlight was making progress in spite of her attempted teachings, not because of them. Which is why she learned to let go.
I know there's nothing more I need to teach you.
This video was requested by nman625. If you want a similar video on a topic of your choice, or just want me to be able to continue doing this full time, please support me on Patreon or check out my other channel.